Here with the legendary Two Gloves, Tommy Two Gloves. How are you, man? Thanks for coming on.
Yeah, man. Appreciate it. Looking forward to talking with you and whoever else wants to join in and listen to what we have to say.
So let's start. Like, I think everyone knows that you wear two gloves. A little bit about your background, but I think your story is one of the most unusual. So let's start with who introduced you to the game, Tommy.
Well, I would have to give credit to my father. He introduced my brother and I to the game around the age of 9. And, we just picked it up. He got us a set of clubs for us to share, and we started playing golf.
How did you share? So if you and your brother, obviously, if you're playing at different times, you went he just took the set of clubs, but what kind of clubs were they, Tommy? And how long did you share clubs with your brother?
They were the Axiom. You remember the
Oh yeah.
Axiom clubs back in the day? We had those to start with. And then after we wore those out, we got a little older, so we got a set of clubs each, so we didn't have to share anymore.
What was the home course, Tommy? What was it like? I mean, how often did you play? All of those type of things.
Okay, so really, my home course was two. I played a lot at Bishopville Country Club, and then there was this other course, Bethune Country Club. So we played a lot at both courses. So I would have to say both courses were my home golf course.
What? When did you realize you were good? Was there what age did you start competing in tournaments? Kind of what did that look like?
As far as the age, I would say probably 15, 16.
Mm-hmm.
Because at that age, I would go out there and I would make, no joke now, I would go out there and make 8, 9, 10 birdies, but I would make 2 or 3 doubles.
Yeah, yeah, right.
And I mean, I was just making a bunch of birdies, hitting 2 or 3 bad tee shots, making a couple doubles, making a triple, hitting it out of bounds, that kind of deal.
Yeah.
But, everybody that I played with or against, a lot of my friends said, man, you got a lot of game. I kept
Mm-hmm.
hearing you got a lot of game. You need to do something with it and so forth. And, you know, um,
Did you play on your high school team, Tommy?
I did. I was number one.
Man, what was your best round? What was the rest of your team like? Did they even play golf at all?
They
Like,
did. They did.
okay.
The other part of my other golf team was my brother Alan,
Mm-hmm.
um, April Arentz, and Ashley Fountain. That's who played on the team, and we made it to state. And I had a chance to win state because it was at Bishopville Country Club one year, and I had 3 holes left. I missed like a 10-footer or something like that for birdie, so I just kind of tossed, not in anger, just slightly tossed the putter to the bag. It broke. My dad
Yeah.
was watching, and I don't think I have to tell anybody else what happened the next 2 holes and when I got home.
Well, Dad might have kicked your ass, did he, Tommy?
Yeah, it was a little more than slightly. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, understand. Like, we all wanted to play pro golf that were decent, Tommy. When was it any sort of realistic? When did you make it a dream to play professionally?
Well, I was a real good baseball player to start with, and then I just fell in love with the game of golf, so I gave up baseball to chase golf. And I'd say being a senior in high school, I thought I would get recruited because I was so good.
Yeah.
But back then in 1993, when I was a senior, none of the big universities or none of the colleges or whatever, they never recruited the small towns.
Mm-hmm.
But as we speak right now, I mean, when you have a player, no matter in what sport, they are flooding that town trying to get that kid to that university.
Yeah, I mean, there was no online presence, so it's not like you could get your name out there. You weren't playing a ton of national events, so it was kind of hard to break out of your little town, I assume, right, Tommy?
Right. It was. It was. So what I did was when I graduated high school, nobody recruited me. I didn't go to college, so I went to tech, trying to get into a trade, and it was
Mm-hmm.
industrial maintenance. So I did a year and a half, still playing golf, working at Bishopville Country Club when I wasn't in school, which was good because I got to play free golf, and if I needed to buy golf balls or anything like that, I could get it at cost for being an employee.
Yeah.
So that helped out with expenses. And, as good as I was then, I played in these, captain's choices or scrambles or best ball tournaments and ended up winning a few of them and, was able to get some merchandise, these gift certificates, and I could just get, all the golf merchandise that I needed.
Mm-hmm. Did the two gloves start back then, Tommy? Did you wear two gloves back like always?
I've always wore two gloves, and I got that from my father because I'm gonna give him the credit. He's the original. I'm
He's
just
the original two gloves.
he's the original two gloves. So what I used to do was when I got his gloves, normally when I got them, they were had holes in them or whatever. So what I would do was cut the fingertips out
Mm-hmm.
and just put two on each hand. That way,
Really?
it was like how the weightlifters used to have those
Yeah.
gloves. That's what I used to do with his, because the holes in the fingers, they were so big that it was just going to be. I mean, there was a reason he was giving them to me. Okay, so
Yeah.
they wasn't like they were
So you
brand
were
new.
Tommy Four Gloves back then? Is that true? Is that really?
We don't have to say four, but that's the way I did it, and then it carried on, and when I got better as I got older, a lot of people kept saying, "Man, you need to be playing professional golf. You're just too good to be around here." And I got with the right one of my buddies, and he got me to a guy I met he's from Charlotte. His name's Cliff Wilson. He's passed away now for about 2 years, 3 years now, and it's crazy because people need to hear this story.
Yeah.
So there was this golf course, Bermuda Run Golf Club in Jefferson. And what we would do is we would go up there, and they had this Friday Captain's Choice, and they would have anywhere from 40 or more people playing it.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
I was up there one day. I was going to play in it, and it was started because the daylight savings. So I go up there, and I'm just sitting in the clubhouse, waiting for everybody to come. I guess it was about an hour and a half before it started at 5. So I'm just hanging out, drinking a Coke. So Cliff Wilson walks in, didn't know who he was, whatever. He comes in and he says, "Chuck," he said, "you got anybody here I can play for, 100 a hole, 50 a hole, whatever?" I'm sitting over there in the chair, and he kind of just leans up like this and looks at me, and I stand up, and I said, if you really want to gamble, I'm here. I'm ready. So, I guess I might have scared him a little bit, so he dropped down from the 100. So he said, "Well, we'll play like 20, 25 a hole."
Mm-hmm.
So we played 5 holes. I go birdie, birdie, eagle, par, birdie. Beat him all 5 holes. And I said, no, he tried to pay me. And I said, "Listen, man," I said, "I don't want your money. I just, I just, it was fun
Yeah.
when somebody runs their mouth
Yeah.
that you can go out there and prove them wrong just to say, you got to watch what you say and where you say it at."
Yeah. 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 So how did he become a part of your life? Like, how did you get? I remember you and I talking earlier. So let's just start at the trade. So you go to tech, get your trade certificate. Where did the hot water or the water heater job come in? When
Right.
did you start
That's
that?
where I started that soon after I got I was still working at the golf course, and I got a job at A.O. Smith. I was working as a temp in the lab, hooking up water heaters, testing them, that kind of deal, cleaning up, all that stuff.
And how many hours a week were you working? That was through school time?
Well, that was 40. That was 40 hours a week. And then, there was a job that come available, and it was rapid installation on water heaters.
Mm-hmm.
So I put in, well, actually it was installing anodes because it was a second shift job. So I
Okay.
got that job and I was able to go, be a permanent employee
Mm-hmm.
of A.O. Smith. So I did
Yeah.
that for about 6 or 7 months, maybe 8. And then after that, there was a job that come open on first shift. Nobody put their name on it. And I mean, I was young at that time. I didn't know what that meant. So I put my
Yeah.
name up there. And then nobody else, there was like 2 other people put their name on it. And when they found out what it was, they said, no, I don't want no part of this. So
Yeah.
I got the job, went to first shift, and I started wrapping insulation on water heater tanks. And I did that for a year. And
And
let me
that
tell
gave
you,
you time in the evening and afternoon to play golf, Tommy? Is that kind of what your like regular schedule was?
well, I worked anywhere from 5 to 6 days a week. We would work
Mm-hmm.
8 hours unless business was really good. Then we would work 9 hours a day, and we would work 8 on Saturdays. So I was, working, pretty much 5 to 6 days a week. But also when I was working, I got into some of these guys knew how good I was, and they wanted to back me against some other players playing for
Mm-hmm.
some serious amount of money.
Mm-hmm. What's the most amount of money you played before turning professional? Tommy, well, like, what was a regular game for you guys back in the day? Like, if someone backed you, what were you guys paying each other at the end of the like couple thousand?
Oh, I mean, we would start at 500. It could go to 5,000
Mm-hmm.
a
Mm-hmm.
hole.
Yeah.
And, it was, it was fun. I mean, my guy that backed me, he said, listen, he said, you get 20% of what you win.
Mm-hmm.
So to me, when somebody tells me that and I just got to beat this other guy, I am just going to absolutely go wax him. Because I got nothing to lose and everything to gain. So, I mean, I've got all the security
Yeah.
that you could ever want.
Yeah. Okay, so you're at the thing, you're playing these side games. How do you get to what was the next step? I remember you and I talking, you lived in a hotel for a while. How did we get there? Tommy, I
So
don't
we, okay, so worked at A.O. Smith, still doing these gambling games every now and then. And then, so a buddy of mine,
did you still have the dream to play professionally, Tommy, all this time?
absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Because, everybody said, I didn't really know how good I was. I knew I was
Right.
good.
Yeah.
But when you hear everybody, all your friends say, dude, you need to be out there playing. You need to play professional golf, this, that, and the other. So I got some help from David Lucas. He helped me out. And Harry Ben and Haley helped me out. And I went to play this tour at the beach. That was when Harry helped me. And, I won like twice and made like 99,000 one year. And then we had a disagreement about the deal, and then that broke up. Then David Lucas got me introduced to some guys at Dunes West in Mount Pleasant in Charleston, South Carolina, and then we worked out a deal there, and I made almost 100,000 there. So I mean, with this goes without saying, I've had a bunch of help from a lot of people, and I don't want the credit. They deserve the credit because they put up the money, they put up their time, they put up their belief in me. And back then it was not that easy to get a lot of money to
Mm-hmm.
go and play professional golf because, as you know, it was tough then and it's still tough now.
Mm-hmm.
And it costs a lot.
I mean, Tommy, do you remember when you first started playing professional? You came from a blue collar, you're wearing 2 gloves, you got a funky swing. Did you use that as an advantage, or did you remember people saying "Oh, this guy sucks"? Look at his swing. Well, what was kind of the reception? I mean, we know it now because you've won on the tour and you've done it. You've had a successful career, but back then, no one knew. You weren't Tommy Two Gloves. You're just some dude.
That's
So
right.
what was
Well,
kind of the reception?
we were talking about Cliff Wilson earlier.
Mm-hmm.
So me and Cliff became really close, like father-son kind of relationship.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, Tommy, he said, there's this teardrop tour back in the day, and I'm sure you probably still remember that tour.
Yeah, I sure do.
So they went to Wood Creek Farms in Columbia, South Carolina, and I was working 6 days a week. We were working overtime at A.O. Smith, so I didn't have much time to practice.
Mm-hmm.
So went there, and I showed up with my cutoff jeans and holes in my shirt, just getting off work. with my Brahma boots going to play a practice round at Wood Creek Farms, and they said, "Well, you got to have khaki shorts. You can't wear that."
Yeah.
So I had to get a shirt, had to get a pair of shorts to go out there and play a practice round. So I went out there, and the entry fee was like, I don't know, around 1,000 back then. I think it was maybe 1,100, something like that. So Cliff, he paid like, I remember paying like $150 of the entry fee. He paid the rest.
Yeah.
So long story short, I ended up winning the tournament. I won that tournament. That's my first ever professional golf tournament that I
Are
played
you
in.
serious?
And I ended up winning. And Cliff Wilson, when we got done, he was there, watched me the last day and everything, and ended up
What'd
winning.
you win, Tommy? Do you know what you won?
$15,000.
Okay.
Back then.
Yeah. So Cliff's there.
Cliff there, and I said, Cliff, we won. How much do you want? He said, Tommy, he said, I'm telling you, you are special. You have it. And still to this day, I don't know what the it factor is, because you hear people say, well, that new guy's coming out, he's got it.
Yeah.
Or this other guy's got it.
Yeah.
I don't know what the it means, but everybody said you got it. And I'm still trying to figure out what it means. Till this day, I still don't.
Yeah.
And he said, listen, I am just trying to help you out because I think you're special. I think you have a God-given ability that a lot of players wish they had. And I think you can make it. And he made it his mission to try to help me in any way possible to play in these golf tournaments. And without his help, he was the one that pretty much started me on the trend to going to professional golf and trying to play.
After you won, did you quit AOC when you won that event, or did you go back?
Well, I went back, and matter of fact, since we're talking about that, I had to take 2 sick days and I didn't have any. So my supervisor I had to talk to him first thing Monday morning.
Yeah.
I get started wrapping insulation. The utility guy, Rodney, comes over. He says, Dale wants to see you. Dale Clark was my supervisor. So I had to go in there and meet with him for about 10 minutes. He said, Tommy, he said, listen, he said, you're one of my best workers. If you need to get off, just come talk to me and we'll try to work something out. Try not to do this again. And I said, man, I really appreciate you saying that. So and he said, congratulations on winning. So it went all through the plan. Everybody knew I'd won.
Yeah.
And he asked me, he said, well, before you go back out there, have you figured out what you're going to do? I said, no, I haven't. So I was going to work. I thought about putting in my 2 weeks, but I said, well, I'm going to just give it a day or two. So that Wednesday, I said, well, I'll work the next 2 weeks. I'm going to put in my 2 weeks. So I put in my 2 weeks. I worked every day until the last day, and I got sick. I got some kind of stomach bug or something, and I missed. But I worked just about every day until then. And
I mean, Tommy, what was your dad's feeling on turning pro? I assume there's part of it is like you had a good job at AOC or AO Smith, like you are, but then like any parent wants more for their kid, and you want to, like, this small town, you want to get out of there. Like, what was your family's feeling or friends around the area about turning pro? Did they think like this is crazy, or were they supportive of you?
Oh, they were very supportive. And even my dad was supportive. He even helped me, even with the money that I just won, and Cliff did too. He even said, listen, you won, you beat a lot of really good players. If you want to try it, I'll do everything I can to help you. And for Dad to say that after the fact of winning, it meant a lot to me, because it meant that he really believed in me playing against these guys. He believed I could compete or even beat these guys on a daily basis. So that was really reassuring, number one. But it really, it was heartwarming for me, for him to say that.
What'd you play, Tommy? Teardrop, Golden Bear, Hooters? Is that kind of the where you? I mean, I know you played everywhere.
Oh, Teardrop, Hooters, Tar Heel Tour, Golden Bear, Gateway. I mean, all of them. I played pretty much all of them.
There was a hotel. Didn't you live in a hotel for a long time, Tommy?
I did. So after all that, so I went and played. So this right here will lead up to when I went to Charleston to get in the hotel, live with a because a buddy of mine had a hotel in Charleston. So I played about a year and a half after I won the 15,000. My mom and dad started having health issues. My dad had like a neck surgery. He had a disc or two that was messed up, so he had to go in there. My mom had I can't I wonder if I want to say it was a hysterectomy or something like that. She had complications of that. And so I said, well, running a little low on money, but still have enough to do it. But I said, I'll come back home and I'll put this on the back burner for now. And I'll just try to go find some ins and outs on some jobs to do. So my cousin was moved furniture. So I went and helped him for a little while. And I tried to go back to work at the golf course a little bit. So, I mean, I was trying to do some stuff like that to try to help around the house and try to be around just in case, something else was going to happen to mom and dad. So anyway, so after, that was about a year and a half, 2 years, I was home. And then, so a buddy of mine, David Lucas, says, he said, man, you need to be playing on the tour again. So he said, well, let me help you. So he got him in touch with some buddies in South Carolina down there in Charleston. And this was about 99. This was 1999 or 2000-ish. And he said, well, come on down there. Dick Horn's one of the best. He's one of the best ever amateur players to ever tee it up and be from the state of South Carolina. So I went down there, I played with him. I played with David, and little to be known, Darius Rucker was in the foursome too.
Oh, really?
So, oh my God, that's when I first met him, and when I seen him, I said, I don't know what to say. I can't believe I'm playing with him. I mean, I listened to their music all the time. I loved them then, and I still love them now. Yeah. And I played with them, and I go out there, and I'm telling you, I just absolutely tore that golf course up. I shot like 63 or 4 with like 9 birdies or 10 birdies and like a bogey or 2. Yeah. And so they were impressed, to say the least. Yeah. And I was impressed because I got to play with Darius. Yeah, yeah. So I met him and everything, and so we met after we got done because we played at like 7:30 in the morning. So we ate lunch and we talked about some different things. And Darius gave me his number. I gave him mine, and he said, "Dude, anytime you want to play, let me know." I'm all about playing with you. And we struck a great relationship, friendship, and it's been to this day even better. So very lucky and blessed on that. So David, so I got done and I had to drive back to South Carolina, which was about 2 hours and 15 minutes. So I drove back home. And David said, I'll be in touch with you. So he called me when I'm on my way home, and he said, I talked to Dick, and he says, can you come back tomorrow and play? I said, sure. I'll drive back down tomorrow and play. Yeah. So I went back, played again the next day, shot 65. Okay. So that's 2 days in a row and he seems very interested, Mr. Horn and David. So we got done and everything. And so they're talking. I said, well, I'm going back to the house. So he calls me when I'm on my way home again. And he said, Tommy, so listen, you have impressed Darius. You have impressed Mr. Horn. And they want to try to help. So I said, okay. So, I own a hotel down here in Charleston. You just come down here and stay. We'll try to get you a job at a golf course where you can work on your game a little bit and you can get you a little spending money. Yeah. So that's what I did. So he got me down there. I got a job at Dunes West. I need to pull my phone up before it goes dead.
No, you're good.
Let's see. Hopefully it'll stay right there. So anyway, I get a job at Dunes West. I'm making a little bit of money. playing with the MGA guys, the Men's Golf Association guys, some of the members, working a little bit, practicing on my game a little bit. And, dude, so Kevin Zemnickas was the head pro. He's still the head pro there at Dunes West now. Richard Rankin was the GM. He's still the GM there now. So I'm working, and so he calls me into his office one day. Kevin says, he said, Tommy, what the hell are you doing? I said, what do you mean? He said, I'm trying to work and trying to get back out there. He said, listen, he said, you are wasting your time here. He said, all the members are talking about, they can't believe how good you are, and they keep asking me, why are you still working here?
Mm-hmm.
You need to be out there playing professional golf. And I said, dude, I just don't have the money. So Kevin took it on himself with another guy named Jeff, and they got together. They got some members together, had a meeting, and they got up some money for me to go play this tour, the Gateway Tour at Myrtle Beach.
Mm-hmm.
So I go down there and play and make, I don't know, almost $100,000, I believe it was. And, you know, they pay for everything, and then they got, you know, whatever was left, you know, they split it 50-50. So, and that was nice, because that was a nice gesture. He didn't have to do that.
Yeah.
And, you know, and that's the thing. They didn't have to do that, but they did. And to this day, from Cliff helping, from my dad to David to Darius, because they sponsored me for a little while too. And where I'm at now, from then to now, I've had so much help. And the good thing about it is I've met so many wonderful people during this journey, and I can't thank them enough for what they've done for me, because they don't know, they really don't know how much I appreciate it.
How long did you live in is this like a one-room hotel room, Tommy? Like just like a regular
it's like
room?
it's a room with 2 beds in it. I mean, it's got bath, TV, you know, it's got the whole works. And
how long did you stay there?
From it was like the middle, towards the end of 1999.
Yeah.
To like 2003 or the start
in the
of
same hotel room you lived.
I did.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's a crazy. It was crazy. I mean, you know, David had some partners in the hotel, and you know, he talked it over with them and said, listen, I want to get this guy. I want him to stay in here. I don't want you to charge him anything. He has to stay here. If he needs something, you give it to him. And
unbelievable.
You know, it's just crazy, man.
Were you going to Q school every year, Tommy? How many times did you go to Q school before you got through?
I went to Q school for a few times. I don't know the exact number, because, as you know, I'm 50 now, so that's been quite a long time ago. Yeah. But I've been at least 4 or 5 times.
Yeah.
And, you know, the second time I went, or third time, you know, I've done the big break. I was just getting done with the big break, filmed it. You know, it was the one in, you know, the one I won, the big break 7. I just won that one. And we just got done filming it, but nobody knew I won yet.
Right.
Just got done filming it. I couldn't tell nobody. So I had to go and do Q school. And I had to go to Florida, and it was the place, you know, the golf course. I can't think of the name of it, but it had a 9 holes, 3 nines. It says the good, the bad, the ugly.
Oh yeah, I know this course. Yeah. Okay.
And everybody knows that one. And we had to play the bad and the ugly and you know, I got there and I played terrible. I played terrible the first round. The second round I played better. I think I shot like 4 or 5 over the first day, but then I shot like 3 or 4 under the last day. Yeah. And missed by 1. So that was second stage to get me to finals. And then I went one more time. The last time that I got through, it took me to 2007. And then I finally got through there. So.
What's that moment like, Tommy? I mean, like you said, you've had so much help. I mean, you know, when did you graduate high school? 90 what?
93. 1993.
Yeah, so you're talking 14 years till you get status. I mean, what was that moment like when you got through Q school?
It was incredible. I mean, The worst part of getting through Q school in 2007 when I did the finals, it was 6 days back then, as you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
and it was the hardest 6 rounds you'll ever play because you
Yeah.
talk about pressure. It was stacked with it, and I played good to start with, and then the last day I shoot like 4 or 5 over, and I was like in the top 7 or 8 going into the last day, and I shot like I think it's 76, 77,
Mhm.
and that put me to about tied for 16th or 17th. So that just tells you how good I'd played leading up to the final round, and
Yeah.
I got through because I thought I was going to get knocked out when I shot that 77 or
Mhm.
6, whatever, and it was just a big relief when I found out. They said you're good. You're going to have a PGA Tour card starting in 2008. And I was so happy. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what to say. I was just so happy because this is what I've worked all my life for,
Yeah.
to get that PGA Tour card.
What was that first PGA Tour event like? Tommy, I mean, everybody that you played against, like, played huge junior events. Most of them went to college. They all played. I mean, not that you didn't play many tours, but they've had like a more rounded journey to that moment. Like,
Oh, for sure.
what was
Well,
that moment like?
see, this is the thing. They've had a lot of these other kids or players then. What did they have? They had a teacher. They
Mm-hmm.
didn't have the analytics like you have now, like all these different contraptions like
Yeah.
the TrackMan. But I mean, obviously they had some form of TrackMan back then. I don't know
Yeah.
what it was called, but you know, they had all that. They had everything at their disposal. They had all the money. They had the private jets. They could do whatever. But now, me, I'm playing in this first PGA Tour event against VJ Singh, Davis Love, um, Fred Couples, guys I looked up to, watching them on TV, and now they're 5 feet away from me. I'm in dining, and they're sitting at the table right next to me. I mean, just different things like that. It's just like I
You
was
had to be shitting your
starstruck.
pants, right, Tommy? Like a
I
little bit
was
is like,
I was starstruck.
yeah,
I just didn't know how to handle it, but I was trying to do the best I could because I figured people would probably talk about my swing, the two
yeah,
gloves, how I played, and all that stuff. And I didn't care. They could talk me. I mean, they could say whatever they want. I was there trying to. I earned my spot
yeah.
on the PGA Tour in 2008. Nobody could take that away from me. So they could say whatever they wanted to. I had the card to prove it that I belonged out there.
Do you remember a reaction from any player, like when they played with you for the first time? Like, do you remember a certain player, maybe somebody you look up to that was like, what the hell is with the two gloves or what's with the swing? Anything like
That's
that?
one of the first guys that I've seen when I got into Sony for the 2008 was Zach Johnson. He was sitting in I'd registered. I was going in to eat lunch, and he was in there. He sat down and he looked at me and he said, "Tommy," he said, "Man, great to see you. Great playing at Q School to get here."
Yeah,
And, stuff like that sticks out because
yeah,
I
yeah,
played against Zach on the Hooters tour back in the day. And some of these other guys, I mean, they probably had some comments to say, but they didn't really say it to my face. Well, they might
yeah.
have said it to some other players, and they might have had a laugh about it. But it was fine. It was fine.
I mean, Tommy, do you look at your story and think about how unlikely it is? Do you realize that like your story is unlike any other? Have you given that some thought?
Uh, I think you could write a book about my life.
Oh, I know we could. Yeah, for sure. Yeah,
We probably could write a book about my life with all the trials, the tribulations, the good, the bad, the ugly. I mean, it's just, but everybody goes through it. And I always say that I'm very lucky and I'm very blessed to be in this position because I've got a great team around me, and I had one then, and I still have one now. I at 2008, I didn't have a girlfriend, but I was about to have my first child, and that was something that was really special during that year, even though I played horrible until the last tournament when I got beat by Davis Love III. But it's okay. My son was born in 2008. So getting my PGA Tour card for 2008 and having my first son born in 2008, nobody could say that was the worst year ever.
What was that tournament like, Tommy? Is that the event that, I mean, obviously it made you belong because you were in the hunt, but like, did it give you so much confidence to be like, yeah, I can hang with these guys? I mean, you can tell yourself that, right? But it's got to be some results at some point.
That's right. That's right. I mean, obviously, I can tell you that, it didn't. My start for the 2008 year, being my first year on the tour, did not start as well as I wanted it to.
Mm-hmm.
It was just, maybe I felt uncomfortable. Maybe you could say that. But I was trying to do the best I could at playing.
Yeah.
But, I earned the card. I felt comfortable with it. It's just my game just didn't play because, I feel like I might have been a little starstruck a little bit. And, it's the guys that you look up to and watch on TV every day or every week during golf tournaments, and you're right there next to them. So maybe a little bit uncomfortable, but I got no excuses. I played horrible for the year. And,
Yeah.
it's just something you got to go through. You got to go through the bad. They always say it gets worse before it gets better.
Mm-hmm.
So I went to the worst part for it to get better. And I'm a better person for that and player.
What was it like? I mean, you're now 13 years removed from your PGA Tour win, but you've had Korn Ferry wins even just a few years ago. But like, I mean, all you've been through, Tommy, to be a PGA Tour winner has to be like, how often do you think about like your career and your life and the fact that you're a PGA Tour winner?
I think about it some. People say, man, you got the best job. You got the best job in the world. I used to have the best job in the world, and now it's with all the politics going on with the PGA Tour and the Korn Ferry Tour. It's not like it used to be. It used to be a lot of fun. And now it's the politics has divided. Obviously you see it's divided the country, and it's divided the tours as well. In my opinion, but it's just crazy because I didn't realize when I won that golf tournament, the only thing that I knew is I was a PGA Tour winner. I was one of the best players in the world then, and I'm still one of the best players in the world now. It's just a little bit different because I'm a lot older than these guys now on the tour. But the good thing is when I won that tournament, I had an A.O. Smith function or a little golf tournament to do that Monday, Tuesday. So when I drove from Sea Island, we drove to Charleston where it was at. We were going to play at Bulls Bay Tuesday, and Monday was just to go out there and meet everybody or whatever. So I met Darius Sunday night. Monday. I think it was Monday afternoon. We met for this little welcome party or whatever. And I seen him. He came and we ate dinner and we had a good time. He was one of the first ones to come up to me and just give me a big bear hug, and it was awesome. And all the people from A.O. Smith, there was a lot of people from there from upper management, and that was cool. And my agent was there, Paul Graham, and Charlie Reimer was there. We just had a great time, and stuff like that. I never will forget that.
How many beers were drank that night, Tommy?
Let's just say it was a few. Can't give you a number. It was a few.
All right. I mean, we've gone at it 40 minutes. We could do 10 podcasts with you, but what's it like to be a young guy again? Because you're now 50, and now you're on the young end of Champions Tour. So what's Has it been nice to be on the Champions Tour? I know you've only Mondayed and
I played in 3. I've Mondayed into. I Mondayed the first one, finished tied for 5th, got the top 10 spot, so I played the second one, and then I Mondayed into St. Louis and finished 11th there, I think. But it's fun because these are the guys that I grew up watching, and idolizing. You got Corey Pavin out there, Retief, Ernie, Harrington, Furyk, Boo's out there now. I mean, just so many guys that I grew up watching on TV, and I'm one of the young guys now. I mean, I can't tell you what Darren Clark told me because he used some pretty bad language, but he just said, "Welcome to the old club." And that was pretty cool by Darren. He's such a good dude, such a cool dude as well. But it's fun. It's like I'm not the shortest person on the tour now.
Yeah.
I'm like a top 10 or top 12 guy there as far as driving distance on the Champions Tour. But out here on the PGA Tour, I'm bottom 3, 4.
Yeah. Tommy, Tommy and I have a lot of conversations offline. He's always been great to me. We're going to do this again, Tommy. We're going to talk through Corn Ferry Tour. We're going to talk through your life. But I mean, it's such an amazing story. Like, people just don't understand. It just doesn't happen. It just doesn't happen. You weren't supposed to make it by the book. You know what I mean, right. Tommy?
I agree. I agree with you. I mean, I went from having 2 of the worst jobs ever in the world, moving furniture and wrapping insulation on water heater tanks. And by the way, we all know the insulation. I mean, you'll be scratching all over the place if you're not careful. So that's 2 of the worst jobs you could ever have. And I had those 2. And the biggest thing that I've realized through all of this, the ups and the downs, is where it started and where I'm at. I really appreciate my position now, because I know I was doing one of the worst jobs ever, and now I'm doing the best job ever. Mm-hmm. So I went from being, doing the worst to doing the best. I mean, what better feeling is that? I mean, it's such a great feeling, and I'm in such a great position that, I thank God every day that He has given me this ability to play golf, to try to help others, because that's what I would really like to do, try to help others, because that's basically what He wants me to do. I am doing His plan, and His plan is for me to play golf and to help people.
Tommy, I appreciate all you've done. You and I talk often. Appreciate the time. We will have you back on again. Your story's unlike any other, and you're the best, man. Thanks so much.
Hey, I appreciate it, man. Holler at me anytime. You know that.